Thank you for joining on this Facebook Live. This is Dr. Indumati Kuberan, consultant diabetologist practicing in Borivali and Mira Road, Mumbai. Today I will be talking on a very practical topic, self-monitoring of blood glucose. As pulse oximeters have become ubiquitous in every household in this corona pandemic, like that, we expect all patients of diabetes, whether they are type 1 or type 2 or gestational diabetes, to have their own glucometer of a good brand and also a standard brand where the strips are easily available. Why is self-monitoring of blood glucose so important? What is self-monitoring? Self-monitoring means the patient monitors his sugars at home. Way back, 3 years, 3 decades back, when I was a medical student, these glucometers were very rare to find. Only the ones who had their sons or daughters abroad used to get their glucometers and check it up. Otherwise, the normal patient, walk-in patients, used to depend on the lab. And they, every 3 months or 4 months, they used to just walk in with their fasting and postprandial blood glucose levels from the laboratory. Not even HbA1c. HbA1c also was a rarity those days. Only we used to give them strips to record their urine sugars. Now it sounds very obsolete and very funny, but it was the way it was. But somehow people were managed to the best possible capacity. But now the things are different. Nowadays, even in India, we have the continuous glucose monitoring systems available by Abbott and Medtronics. The CGMS Abbott Libre is available straight for the patient. Because of the cost of the sensor, it is now out of reach of the common man, but glucometers are in reach for everybody. So whether they are type 2 diabetics, type 1 diabetics or gestational diabetes, all category of patients have to monitor their blood glucose levels. For type 1 kids and adolescents, it is different. For gestational diabetes also it is different. Today I will concentrate mostly on type 2 diabetes because it is the commonest problem which we encounter in practice, and most of the public who are listening now also will be type 2 diabetics. So type 2 diabetics, once they are diagnosed, we put them on a diet and exercise program, and we expect them to do their blood sugar levels with the glucometer at their homes itself with their glucometer, and it is communicated to the doctor. One fasting and one post meal. Post meal will keep on varying. For example, this week the patient does a fasting and a 2 hours after breakfast. The next week the patient will do a fasting and a 2 hours post lunch. And the next week it will be a fasting and 2 hours post dinner. In that way, they will know the overall control and how they are responding to the medications and how well is their diet and exercise program working. So what is the use of this self-monitoring of blood glucose? It is useful both for the doctor as well as the patient. For the doctor, because we are able to adjust the dose according to the sugar levels and prevent hypoglycemia, which is a very serious complication of treatment of diabetes. Hypoglycemia, if severe, needs hospital admission. So, if the patient monitors at home and communicates this to the doctor will be able to adjust the dose of oral medications and the insulin. What about the patient? What is the advantages for the patient? Patient will clearly know, he will get motivated by his diet and exercise program. He will also come to know which foodstuffs causes spikes in sugars and he will avoid it. Also, getting their sugars to the target which is suggested by the doctor gives them a motivation to adhere to the diet and exercise program. So this self-monitoring of blood glucose is an important component in the treatment of type 2 and type 1 diabetes as well as gestational diabetes, especially in patients on insulin where there will be a lot of glycemic variability. SMBG is the cornerstone for preventing hypoglycemia. In this corona pandemic, what we did in treatment of COVID was many patients were put on steroids. So non-diabetics had become pre-diabetics and diabetics, and pre-diabetics also had become diabetics. In this category also, because the steroid use was very for limited for 2 or 3 weeks, SMBG came in very handy because we could taper and stop the anti-diabetic medications as the steroids were stopped. So this is also one of the important indication and importance of self-monitoring of blood glucose. The patient should get a standard meter and also get a meter where the strips are easily available. Sometimes patients do complain to me about the cost of the strips, but if you calculate the benefits over the cost, then the benefits outweigh the cost. Actually, you will be saving a lot of money by doing your sugar levels regularly. And when you come to the doctor also, when you bring your SMBG chart, that is the self-monitoring of glucose chart, the doctor also is happy that the patient is motivated and patient is proactive. Proactive patients always get their glucometer readings, do their glucometer readings, chart it down and bring it to their doctors. So friends, remember that self-monitoring of blood glucose is very, very important, not only for controlling their sugars but also to prevent hypoglycemia and to adhere to a diet and exercise program. What we see in practice is mostly when we start a patient on oral medications, the patient himself is very motivated during the first initial months and he will embark on a very holistic diet and exercise program, a robust diet and exercise program. Sometimes the medications which are started on visit 1 may not be needed for a long time. I always tell my patients to get just 2 or 3 strips of the medications written in the first prescription, initial prescriptions, because they will not need the same medications after a couple of weeks when the sugars level starts settling down. Especially when we start drugs like sulfonylureas after a few weeks when the patient goes on a diet and exercise program and other parameters are corrected, then we mostly have to reduce and taper and stop some of the OADs. Only the maintenance oral diabetic agents are continued. So this is an important factor which you have to note in the management of type 2 diabetes. And for diabetic patients, exercise is very, very important. Exercise also causes a lot of fluctuations in sugar, and this self-monitoring helps them to assess whether they should take a pre-exercise snack or not. Type 1 patients, no question at all, SMBG is the cornerstone and they have to learn carbohydrate counting and adjust their insulin levels accordingly. Even geriatric patients, we tell them, those in this pandemic, in this lockdown, mostly the consultations were virtual, and these patients also benefited a lot by sending their glucometer readings on either WhatsApp or email, and the virtual consultations were more fruitful. Simply looking at the face of the patients and just having 2 readings of fasting and postprandial from the lab is not going to help the doctor take the right decision. Decision making is crucial in the management of type 2 diabetes because it is a progressive disease and it causes a lot of deadly complications if not controlled well. Even in this pandemic, we saw that uncontrolled type 2 diabetic patients had a longer stay in the hospital. Mortality and morbidity was increased in these patients, and even we saw the deadly mucor occurring in these patients. Whereas the patients who were proactive, who had their sugar levels well under control did very well in the COVID pandemic. So, friends, I insist as a doctor and diabetologist that all of you, all diabetic patients, even pre diabetic patients, should have their glucometer at home and regularly check your blood sugar levels. Most of the patients, the initial 3 months, they are very motivated, they do it regularly, but after some time, the interest just fizzles out. That is not to be the case. The SMBG first initial weeks can be done twice a week for type 2 diabetes, and then it has to be done at least once a week. Then only the doctor will be able to correlate between the glucometer readings and the HbA1c levels. Also, this self-monitoring will help us to be aware of any complications which the patient develops. Mostly in chronic kidney disease, the first indication of CKD is hypoglycemia. So suddenly, well-controlled diabetics who have their sugar control very well suddenly have a hypoglycemia, unexplained hypoglycemia, where immediately we investigate for causes which is causing the hypoglycemia. Not only this category, there is another category of patients, LADA, latent autoimmune diabetes of the adult. Even in these patients, these are almost like type 1, they have less insulin secreted from their pancreas, and when they start monitoring their levels, they realize that they are insulin dependent, and they, because their C peptide is in the borderline, it's very difficult to convince them to go on a basal bolus regimen. But once they start monitoring their sugar levels with the glucometer, they are convinced that they need insulin for their treatment. Geriatric patients also who live alone, most of the geriatric patients we give online support, WhatsApp support, and email support. So most of them, they send their glucometer readings on the WhatsApp of the doctor and get their doses corrected. Coming to CGMS, that is continuous glucose monitoring system, most of the diabetologists, they have it in their clinics. It is a sensor which is worn on the arm for 14 days, and the reader is with the doctor. The other Abbott Libre which I mentioned, that Libre, the sensor is attached to the arm for 14 days. The cost is 5,000. The reader will be with the patient so they can get live readings. We especially advocate this for GDM patients and type 1 patients to adjust their doses of insulin where glycemic variability is a big issue. Having said that, type 2 diabetic management is mostly diet, exercise. The role of the doctor is only 20%. 80% the patient has to follow a good diet, a nutritious, well balanced diet with less carbs and more proteins, and go on an exercise program. The exercise program also is very much personalized according to the comorbidities of the patient. If the patient has severe osteoarthritis, we tell them to do yoga, or we tell them to do even chair exercises. And the exercises are also decided according to the age of the individual. So, patients who are newly diagnosed, patients who are type 2 diabetics, patients who are pre-diabetics also need to have their own glucometers. It is a good investment, and the cost, the benefits outweigh the cost of this instrument. So I hope I have been clear, and I hope I have been crisp, not boring. I will meet you again with some more interesting lectures on type 2 diabetes. Thank you.